This is a lesson in how to make Polish pierogi. A lot of people want to learn how to do this, so we're going to teach you. Traditionally, we did this a lot at Christmas time, Easter. Mom and Dad used to make their pierogi, and all of us kids would help out because there were 6 of us. Some of us would roll, some of us would fill, some of us would cook. This recipe requires 5 pounds of potatoes, 2 pounds of onions, 2 containers of large curd cottage cheese, Philadelphia cream cheese, 2 sticks of butter is what we're going to brown our onions in, and that makes our filling. We're peeling 5 pounds of potatoes. These potatoes are Yukon Gold potatoes. I prefer to use those because it makes a very buttery filling for the pierogi. We're dicing the potatoes. There we go, all ready. Right now I'm rinsing my potatoes. I clean them twice, and then they're ready for the stove. Enough water to cover the potatoes, that's what you want. We're putting the potatoes on the stove, it's on high heat. We put salt in here, and it's ready to boil. With this many potatoes, it's gonna take a little bit longer, but it's about, I guess, 30 minutes. Test your potatoes with a fork. When the fork comes out clean and easy, then your potatoes are done. The dough consists of flour, water, egg, salt, and some sour cream. Sour cream helps to make the dough nice and flexible. If you don't use the sour cream, then the dough is more like a pasta. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 1 egg in here, and then the yolk of 1 egg. So this one we have to separate, which is pretty easy to do. We're going to need 1/2 cup of warm water, and then about 2 tablespoons of sour cream. That's it. Into our mixture, I added a teaspoon of salt.
Oh man.
We're filming!
It's on film?
Yes!
All right.
Will you get out of here? We're getting ready to whip our eggs here. I'm gonna whip you. So now we're gonna whip. To this mixture, we're going to add our flour. 2.5 to 3 cups of flour go in here. We're gonna add the flour, a little at a time. And as you go, you'll see whether you need to add more flour. At some point, you have to use your hands with this. So be prepared to get your hands dirty. You can feel the texture with your hands, and you'll know. The drier and the less it sticks to your hands, the easier it is to work with. Sometimes you have to add a little bit more water if it gets too dry. With this table, it's a porcelain table, the kind my mother had, and it makes it wonderful for rolling these out. So you're going to keep kneading the dough until everything is incorporated. You can tell it's ready when everything sticks together. This is just perfect right now. I'm going to put this dough on a plate here and just keep it covered till we're ready to use it. We're going to light a candle while you're cutting onions. It prevents you from crying. We need 3 onions for this mixture. And we're going to dice these and fry them in some butter. Watch your fingers. Into the frying pan, we're putting our butter. Before it browns, you need to put your onions in. So we're going to put our onions into the butter. And we're going to saute these. You want your onions to be not overly cooked. You just want them translucent. Our potatoes are done. They need to be dry, so we'll let them drain until they're dry. Into the pan, we're going to put the potatoes back, and we're going to put the onions in. Smell wonderful. They smell really good. Now we're going to put our onions with our butter, and we're going to put it in here. We're going to mash the potatoes. You can use a hand mixer if you want. I like to use it the old-fashioned way. Inside here, I'm going to put some cream cheese.
Ooh, pierogi.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
That's another brother. I added 1/2 container of cream cheese. Mom didn't do that, but I added it as a nice little flavor touch.
Memorial Day weekend pierogi.
We don't wait for Christmas and Easter. We're going to put some salt in here to taste.
Let me say.
More salt. Oh, we put the cottage cheese in. This is large curd. I've got 1 in here. What do you think? Yummy. You can add a little bit more cottage cheese if you think it needs more. I'm going to add a little bit more. Let the potatoes rest for a while. They'll cool down and then they get thicker and easier to use. Okay, we're back again. making pierogi. As you can see, a little time has passed. So this is sourdough. What my mom always did was she would pinch and slice like this, roll it, and you put them in the flour. Roll your dough. I try to keep it uniform in. If you need flour, you just dip it in, but you don't want too much flour. The dough is pretty pliable, like a pizza, so you can pull it and you get a spoonful of filling and you pinch this together so it seals it, so that when you're cooking it in a pot of hot boiling water, it doesn't open up. There we go. Beautiful pierogi. It's a big thing for one person, but when the family gets involved, it's fun and you get more done. We've got water started. It's just coming to a boil. We're gonna put some salt in here and some oil so that they don't stick together. They cook quickly, and as soon as they're finished, they're going to rise to the top. These now are done. See, they've all floated to the top. And I put them in a colander so they can drain. There we go, beautiful. The best part is eating. These are best served boiled or fried. This is how we look when we're done. And if you serve them with sour cream, they're absolutely delicious. Delicious. For the cameraman. What do you think?
She's the best.